welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. 4 minutes past 7 a.m. My name is Victor Olo. Today being a Wednesday, let's continue discussing what is in the country and, of course, even across our borders on matters international relations. You remember that issue between Kenya and South Sudan, all right? We just want to take a look at that briefly. But, of course, the president is still continuing with his Mount Kenya tour. Let's take a look at what really happened yesterday, what is happening today, his itinerary, and of course, what is going to be happening in the next few days to come. What should we expect? And of course, to have a postmortem of what happened yesterday. But the most important one is there's that issue of education. So Sion is here, is going to help us to dissect on matters education. The Justice Chachamwita said that the e-citizen payment of school fees is unconstitutional. All right. I have Brian Oduor, who is a political analyst in studio. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Kenyans. How are you?
Good, fine, thank you.
How are you, Victor?
So far, so good. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Looking so brilliant today.
Thanks a lot.
What have you been up to?
I've been up to Dagoretti North. Let me just put it that way.
Okay.
We just launched, the students started going to school Monday. Is it Monday? No, Friday. Friday, yeah. Sponsoring a couple of students today, maybe they are 35.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the ones that you're sponsoring?
Yes, yes,
okay.
yes.
Good
Through
ones.
our foundation of Dagonie to scholarship. Yeah, so we are kicking it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Education is the equalizer.
Yeah, Bwana Sosion will agree.
Absolutely. All of us are products of education.
Oh, yes, agreed. Oh, nice.
No doubt. You expect me not to agree with right?
You never know.
Solid and factual.
Yeah. Anybody who invests in education invests in a lifetime investment. And of course, Daktari is also a beneficiary of good education. Daktari, Evelyn Ogendo, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You're also looking so radiant.
Oh, wow.
It has been a long weekend, right? It was.
Yeah, it was a nice, long, refreshing weekend.
Yes.
I cannot complain.
Great. Asante sana. And of course, Mwalimu, who is no stranger in Jerusalem when it comes to education. Karibu sana, Mwalimu. And Mheshimiwa.
Thank you. Good morning, Victor.
Yes.
And good morning, our viewers.
Karibu. I want us to do something. Let's take a look at what's on the front page of local dailies. But before we do that, allow me to start with you, Sosion, and just give me a quick highlight of what has been for you since last week and what you've carried. What has been standing out for you? What are some of the things that you picked until we are here today? Politics.
Well, I think a lot of things have gone on, whether it's in politics, whether it's economic front, whether it's in education. There are many things that have gone on. But of course, politics.
Yes.
People are very apprehensive that the president will not go to the mountain. And the naysayers were totally convinced that the mountain bolted out of the president. But we kept saying, this is not the time to talk about who is where and what is what. The president is firmly focused on delivering the agenda he promised the people of Kenya. And I think those preparations have been going on for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
And Monday evening we saw the president move fully to Mount Kenya and the state lodge in Sagana. And yesterday we saw him visiting various projects and addressing the people in Laikipia and Nyeri. And the people who voted the president turned up to receive the president, and the president did not disappoint. He communicated to them with a lot of clarity. The progress taken in undertaking various development programs within the
we'll discuss that in details.
And the rest.
Just a quick highlight of what stood out.
And I think it's clear the president is in touch with his people at the mountain, as he is in the rest of Kenya, and his mission of social and economic transformation of the livelihood of the ordinary people is gaining a lot of traction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. What's really stood out for you the entire week from last week until here we are today?
The entire week, what I would say, I would just almost echo what Honorable Sosiona said. You know, people judge you by your actions. I believe, and as days go by,
Yeah.
I believe our politics are very dynamic. They keep on changing day in, day out. And what stood out for me, it is not what we think, because initially I thought Mount Kenya was going to be a very tough atmosphere for the president. Well, I would say it's him going there changes the way Kenyans look at him.
Yes.
Some of those who feel like he's a coward, I think that was bold enough. I'm not saying that whatever he went to do there is noble or not noble, but I thought that was the hardest thing for him to do, and he did it. And as time goes by, I believe the Kenyan political atmosphere keeps on changing. The way we are thinking about an issue today, even 1 or 2 days or 1 week later, it is different. And then with the extended, I would say, broad-based season 2, came as a bang somehow. I would call it season 2. Came as a bang, as so much unexpected. And I always tell anyone who cares to listen, in politics, there are no permanent enemies or permanent friends, but there's permanent interest that you need to be open with it, because you're going to break your heart. Don't take it too much. Siasa weka kwa mabafu. Because now when things change, now let's say you are the supporter of Honorable Raila, of course it will take you aback, because maybe you have this part for the president, and then now your boss is with that, the person you think is an enemy. So you are left a bit in limbo, but I think silence and trying to accept what's happening, it is what can help us all as Kenyans, so that we can be able to address pertinent issues on the same page of mindset, which I think it's rolling out. And I think Kenyans right now are more afraid of, they are so pessimistic on everything based on what they have been through. And when they name personalities, no, we don't want this one, we want this one. I think it is at a point of desperation, to have their needs met, to have them protected, to have the cost of living, to have the education sector, to have the health sector fixed, because these are the sectors that affect them directly, and the joblessness that is in the country. So I think if anyone, be it whoever wants to be president and can fix those things for the Kenyans, I believe we'll be able to move, and the pessimism and the too much negative energy in this country is going to subside, and I think we are going to have a point of direction. That's my view.
Very good. Great. Brian, what stood out for you the entire week, and now we are here Wednesday?
Nothing stood out for me. The president is the president of this nation. The central people are taxpayers. He should go over there. It should not be a debate or even a question or a qualm raised as to why he should not go there. What I am trying to point out, and I'm going to highlight in my discussion today, is a pattern of certain regions behaving in a certain way whenever certain coalitions are formed. And I would like for the Kenyans to understand that we are all Kenyans, and the vision that our former president had, Uhuru, with our Right Honorable Raila Odinga of BBI, is something that is now unavoidable. That's all I have to say. Yes.
Okay, great. I'm quite surprised that nobody's talking about the issue to do with education, nobody's talking about to do with health, to do with the economy. All is about the president going to the mountain, which is okay. I thought you were going to talk about the cost of living.
I did.
I can talk about the cost of living, but
no,
you see...
it's now my time. Nobody. And even the Kenyans who actually are trying to get jobs outside, we also saw what really happened, some of the fake agents out there. And we're going to be talking about that today as well. Seeking a job outside the country. There's a discussion coming up later on in the program. But then now, Mwalimu Sosion, on the front page of the Star, what's there? Today you're taking my role. Raise it up. Show it to the audience. What's on the front page?
Oh, it says...
How I usually do it.
Ruto dares Gachagua.
Very good. There you go.
Ruto
so what's on the front page?
Dares Gachagua. Yeah.
Aya, soma. Hapo chini.
In a storming tour of Mount Kenya, President dismisses threats to make him a one-term president as he doubles down on his development agenda. And I think this is clear. And the president was very emphatic in his media brief.
Yes.
I think the media brief was everything that evening. That then the president was able to declare to the public
Yes.
what he knows, his particular relationship with Rigathi Gachagua, and the facts around Rigathi Gachagua. Two facts came out. One, fact one, when members of parliament prior in the run-up to elections in 2022
Yes.
were given the opportunity to identify the running mate, because the president already had Mount Kenya wrapped up for him. All he needed then was a running mate. And when the president gave the members of parliament the opportunity to choose the running mate, they chose Kithure Kindiki on 27 against 5 votes. So that simply tells you that from the word go, the members of parliament from Mount Kenya had a lot of negative reservations against Rigathi Gachagua. And some of them talked to us and say, now we are getting back to the ditch again. Why are we picking this man? This man who's dirty, it will take us another round of sanitization, which is not necessary. So meaning those people knew their personalities and their person. Then number two, it is very frightening for the president to confess and tell the world that the deputy president actually demanded 10 billion to go and talk to the people of the mountain. And if it's not given, he would make the president a one-term. I mean, it is scary. And that is what has captured my attention, my feelings, my reflection. And of course, being part of Kenya Kwanza administration, I'm just trying to figure out how such a person can have the guts to really try and blackmail the president. So all what we have been seeing after impeachment has been efforts of blackmail by Rigathi Gachagua. But then when he christened himself the truthful man, and is known all over that he's not truthful, he's the most dishonest character around. Trying to blackmail the president by forcing the president to give 10 billion. 10 billion. What for? And I don't think that is what we intended to undertake as Kenya Kwanza administration.
Get to that.
And therefore, it has been a moment that the president has opened up.
All right.
And is vindicated.
This is the Daily Nation. On the front page, the politics of quote-unquote handshakes. This is what you have on the front page of the Daily Nation, the politics of handshakes. The 4 gentlemen around here, we have got former President Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, the President, Raila Odinga, opposition leader, and former DP Rigathi Gachagua. The MPs, it's some sort of shame, as per this Daily Nation, that MPs have on many occasions been accused of being on the executive side, but then now, is it kind of an auction house? President William Ruto's claim of 10 billion shillings demand by his former deputy Rigathi Gachagua in exchange for political support has exposed the transactional nature of politics in Kenya, where elected leaders are willing to dish out billions of taxpayers' money to buy loyalty. This flagrant bribery happens in the run-up to presidential elections, during coalition building, and in sealing ceasefire deals. And Kenya's top politicians have been accused of being complicit. That is on the front page of the Daily Nation. Still on the front page, this rather sad news, where a lady has been left without an entire family after a road accident over the weekend, 3 children and a husband. So that is what's on the front page. Again, sad news there. Ruto and Raila are meddling with the reconstitution of IEBC. Now claim Karua and Kalonzo Musyoka. But there is a problem in Haiti, where Kenyan officers injured in clashes with Haiti gangs. It's still continuing, with even the officer who was allegedly abducted and taken hostage by the militia in Haiti is yet to be found. We're still waiting to get more. On the front page of the Standard, lying president? There's a big question on the front page. Lying president? There we have it. So President William Ruto began his tour of central Kenya with claims that have been challenged. He said that Kenya is exporting tea to Sudan, a statement that was denied by the Sudanese government. He's also said that he's mentoring Kikuyu MP Ndindi Nyoro, an assertion that has been disputed, leaving Kenyans wondering why the president is speaking half-truths. That's on the front page of the Standard newspaper. Of course, lastly, the Supreme Row, why they see judges at war, and of course, the big win for parents, why now the e-citizen issue has been ruled that is unconstitutional. So some of our parents paid school fees through manual work in school. Well, you know that.
Well, that's a judgment from the court.
Yes, I want to get to that because you have talked. True or false? A win for the parents?
I'm not talking about that one.
Yes, a win for the parents or no?
No, it is not a win.
Okay, sour. So
it is not. It's a loss.
So let's come back. Dr. A quick wrap of what's really happening in the mountain. The president took his tour. It's not news. He's been touring the country.
Sure.
I mean, but the question I would really love to ask about this tour, why is it so important? Because when the president was in northern Kenya, there was no much of attention because he would go to Mombasa, he would go to any other place. He's been to Western Kenya several times. But why is this visit to Mount Kenya so important?
It is, I would say it's new, not really too important. I would say it's new based on the on the type of, on what happened, because previously the deputy president came from that turf, and it was so heated, you know, the impeachment had so much drama, but he later lost. The impeachment went through. Me, something I like to comment, there's a way regions in this country feel a sense of entitlement. One of them is Mount Kenya. You know, I have nothing against or for them, but I'd like to give a blanket overview based on the discussions outside here, in the sense that Mount Kenya, they're in Kenya. And I would feel them to some extent because they're very much used to the fact that if the president does not come from Mount Kenya, the deputy president comes from Mount Kenya. So I'm sure, and they're used to that since independence. That is long way back. Now, when the turn of events turned the way it has turned, it is kind of new. They see like something is being taken away from them. No one wants to lose control. Are you seeing? And when the president goes there, according to them, quote unquote, the other supporters from Mount Kenya felt like the former deputy president had the power to stop the president from transversing the Mount Kenya, but that didn't happen. So I think that is thumbs down. It's either for the positive or he would, because I don't think Rigji would want the president to have a successful meeting in Mount Kenya to exert his power, to show that at the end of the day, I was second in command, but you see, I'm challenging him, which didn't happen. So I would say it's a big war. It's not only the president going there. It's about how did Rigji, according to the followers of the supporters of Rigji would start thinking, after all, this man is not powerful enough. How does the president come here and is so welcomed? So it's not a shock. It's other people are opening a new frustration, frustration situation, in the sense that they're having to battle in the fact that the president can actually transverse everywhere. And I would say, you know, when you expect something, you get frustrated when you don't get it. So they are at that now realm of being threatened, of trying to lose control. But while it can be so easy for them to adopt the fact that politics is dynamic,
Yes.
especially in our country, Kenya. And the more they get used to it, of the dynamics, the better for them, instead of building a lot of negativeness towards development. You see now, like, is being stated as a president of lies. I am not saying he's not a president of lies or he's a president of lies. That is somebody's opinion.
Yeah.
And I believe everybody is entitled to his or our own opinion, because even the president has not really, has not also not come out and say, you know, in every opportunity, in every situation, you are open to challenges. He has never communicated his challenges in his presidency. Why would you say this and then it doesn't happen? Maybe it's on the delay. No, it's not on the not happening. It is on the delay basis. And I think that is it. That is what is ailing the Mount Kenya.
Okay,
Of having a lot of sense of entitlement. Yeah.
Okay, Brian, the importance of having the President Mountain. Okay, as I said, there's some sharp focus on his Mount Kenya tour, all right? He's been to other places. I mean, he'll be anywhere else. Even tomorrow, he's been everywhere. But why the sharp focus on Mount Kenya? You don't understand.
Well, first and foremost, constitutionally, Mount Kenya is a part of Kenya. And whether they oppose the president or support the president, it is his constitutional duty to attend to their needs. It's not everyone over there in Mount Kenya that disputes the president. Let me be sure. Let me be sure with you.
Yes.
There are some people over there who still expect his services. What I'm going to go against is the politics of partisan politics and personality politics. And what I'm also not going to allow is the exclusion of history and facts. We begin to realize a certain type of pattern from the leaders from the central region whenever certain types of facts are involved. It is a pattern not starting with this current president. It was there during the former president. In fact, I'll go ahead and boldly state the moment ODM and its affiliates, including the communities it represents, you know, we also have Asians in ODM, including the Rendile, the Oromo, and the Mijikenda, are getting incorporated into government, as deservedly so. That is the moment some leaders from the central region all of a sudden develop an antipathy towards their darling president. I'm not saying the president can't be wrong and can't be criticized, but I'm thinking it is so timely for you to criticize him at the moment that now, let me just say, Raila is getting into government. Is it that the government is only nice and sweet and proper when Raila is outside? So these are some of the things that the former president, Bwana Uhuru Kenyatta, was trying, him and Raila Odinga, to address through the BBI. And they foresaw this, and they knew that it is a plague that is always there.
Yes.
Because in politics, there are always going to be regions and politicians who will never read on the same book, which is okay. That's a very developed democracy. But that is why we even have the bipartisan MOU. And the bipartisan MOU, just a side speak, is nothing peculiar to democracy. We had one in 1940s during the time of Winston Churchill, and they wanted to address the Nazi Hitler. And we had one just 2024, we were calling standing with the Ukraine. Now I digress, but back to the matter. The people of this nation should be taught and understood that, number one, this mentality of winner takes all is going to hurt us. This mentality of serikali ni yetu is going to hurt us. This partisan politics has very much hurt us. So it is time for people to wise up. The leaders from the central region should stop this type of divisions and warmongering and lead their people in the right direction. The government is enough for all of us. I'm telling this again, the government is enough for all of us, because it's not the first time Mr. President wetu Daktari Ruto is going to Central, but this time he's going there when when he's also in cahoots with ODM and its affiliates, and that is why there is tension there. So I have called it out like it is. Serikali ni yetu yote. We can all fit in there. Winner takes all is going to destroy us. Yeah.
Okay, because when you look at the political developments in the country, there's so much that is happening again, because the issue here is to the development tour that the president is taking to the mountain and to assess and to take stock of all the things that has been happening in the Mount Kenya region. But there is also a very thin line between development and politics, of course. To cement, he's not been in the central region for 6 months, Mwalimu, for 6 months. And of course, he also explained why. Now, when you look at that, and you look at the big boys from the mountain, I hope you understand what I'm saying.
No, we do not.
Okay. I'll explain that because I want to take a break. But when you look at the president's tour, the way it's been spread across the region, and the messaging, what really stands out for you? Because
I think...
is Mount Kenya gone? Yes or no?
What did the media...
No. Is Mount Kenya gone as people were saying it?
To go where?
Let's take a break.
Mount Kenya is in Kenya.
To go where?
To
On
go
a break.